Welcome back to WFMY News 2 at noon. It's now 12:30. We're streaming on WFMY Plus. I'm Megan Malaris.
And I'm Lauren Coleman. We're joined alongside meteorologist Alex Williams. The rain, we've been waiting for it to move on in. Any idea when it'll get closer?
It's going to get here in the next couple hours. I think it's really the better chance is going to be this evening, which is good for those of us that are maybe doing things outdoors today. We've been able to get a little extra time there. I think that window is closing for our foothill counties. You can see some of those scattered showers starting to move in there, and we're going to continue to see that spread into the Triad as we go through kind of the evening hours. Maybe parts of, say, southern Randolph County getting some of those scattered showers, while southern Davidson, again, Wilkes County up into Allegheny County, parts of Surrey County, moving towards Mount Airy, maybe getting some showers here in just the next little bit. This will be very light, inconsequential, really, as far as impacts go from this rainfall. There's a look at Winston-Salem, very gray. And that's kind of what we're dealing with. As far as where we compared to where we should be, well, we're below average. So the wedge is at work, but maybe not as strong as originally thought. One, the area of high pressure is a little bit further to the north and hasn't sunk as far to the south, so we're not seeing as strong of an influence of it. Because of that, temperatures are actually able to warm into the upper 40s, some mid 40s already. Greensboro, PTI there at 44 degrees, and we see some upper 40s in there. So temperatures may fall just a little bit as we go towards the evening, just because we're going to start to bring in some of those showers as it starts to rain. We could limit some of the temperatures there, but maybe mid 40s, I think, expected across the Triad. And then those rain chances, again, kind of peaking as we go towards a late evening tonight, keeping that drizzly, misty rain around as we go into early tomorrow morning, and that's when we're expected then start to see things improve. We probably won't see the sunshine for most of the day tomorrow, but temperatures will warm, and then we're off to the races into the 70s by mid to late week. More details on that in just a bit.
All right, thank you for that update, Alex.
Yeah, we are getting new reports minute by minute that the attack launched against Iran Saturday between the U.S. and Israel forces hit more than 1,000 targets within the first 24 hours alone, with plans to carry out more strikes in the next several weeks.
But if Iran is striking back on U.S. targets in the Middle East, Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth in a news conference this morning laid out the mission of what the Pentagon is calling Operation Epic Fury.
Destroy Iranian offensive missiles, destroy Iranian missile production, destroy their navy and other security infrastructure, and they will never have nuclear weapons.
Secretary Hegseth would not give a timeline for how long the operation will last and said while there are no U.S. boots on the ground in Iran now, he declined to rule it out.
President Trump ensures that our enemies understand we'll go as far as we need to go to advance American interests, but we're not dumb about it. You don't have to roll 200,000 people in there and stay for 20 years.
The defense secretary said the purpose of the strikes was not regime change, but noted the regime did change with the death of Iran's supreme leader. The Trump administration has called on Iranians to now take back their country.
Turns out the regime who chanted death to America and death to Israel was gifted death from America and death from Israel.
Iran is striking back, launching drones and missiles at allies that host American military bases in the region. While the U.S. has intercepted most of the incoming, the Pentagon said 4 U.S. service members have been killed.
We expect to take additional losses, and as always, we will work to minimize U.S. losses. But as the Secretary said, this is major combat operations.
The Pentagon also confirmed that 3 Air Force F-15 jets were shot down by friendly fire in Kuwait. All 6 crew members safely ejected. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
We're glad they were able to parachute to safety. General Kane said the U.S. has already achieved air superiority over Iran, with much of the focus now on taking out Iran's ability to strike back.
Iranians' attacks have killed a number of civilians in Israel and other Middle Eastern countries. Right now, the FBI is investigating a possible terrorist attack in Austin, Texas. A gunman killed 2 people and injured 14 others at a bar. Police shot and killed the suspect. Later, officials searched his home, finding an Iranian flag and pictures of Iranian leaders.
Obviously, it's still way too early in the process to determine an exact motivation, but there were indicators that on the subject and in his vehicle that indicate potential nexus to terrorism.
Police identified the shooter as a 53-year-old man from Senegal. Officials say he was a naturalized U.S. citizen. Authorities say he was wearing a hoodie with the words "Property of Allah" on it. The story, it is developing by the minute. To get the latest in between our newscasts, check out our website, WFMYnews2.com.
A North Carolina trooper and another driver are dead after a head-on crash on the Durham freeway. Officials say the crash happened just before 3 in the morning. The master trooper has been identified as Stephen Perry. He served Durham County for 7 years with the North Carolina State Highway Patrol. Troopers say he was driving northbound when a wrong-way driver hit him head-on. In response to his death, Greensboro police posted on social media saying, "Our hearts are with the North Carolina State Highway Patrol for their loss of Master Trooper Stian Davis Jr. on February 22nd, and now Master Trooper Stephen Perry. Thank you for your service to our communities." Governor Stein also responding, saying, quote, "Master Trooper Stephen Perry dedicated his career to keeping people in Durham County safe. Join me in keeping his loved ones and law enforcement community in our thoughts and prayers." Well, the Greensboro City Council has moved up a city council meeting for tonight. It'll now begin at 5 to give council members time for a closed session. The council cited a statute surrounding economic development negotiations. More on that to come.
Starting tomorrow, one of 2 projects in downtown Greensboro could cause some slowdowns. Belmead Street between North Eugene and North Edgeworth Streets will be closed beginning tomorrow. Crews will be installing underground electrical cables. Belmead Street should fully reopen on Friday, March 13th.
The U.S. military attacks on Iran were carried out with the help of artificial intelligence tools from the tech company Anthropic after the Pentagon announced it was ending its partnership. Anthropic is the company behind the popular AI assistant Claude. The military used a government version for its intelligence and cyber operations, but decided to give it up after a disagreement with Anthropic over limits on how it could be used. Jolene Kent spoke exclusively with the company's CEO before the U.S. attacks on Iran.
We sat down with Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei just hours after the Pentagon's deadline to strike a deal with the company over how their AI is deployed by the U.S. military.
It's about the principle of standing up for what's right.
The Pentagon wants total access without restrictions. Anthropic wants limits on mass surveillance of Americans and fully autonomous weapons. The central question, who should have the final say in how one of the world's most powerful AI is used by the world's most powerful military?
Do you think that Anthropic knows better than the Pentagon here?
One of the things about a free market and free enterprise is different folks can provide different products under different principles. Our model has a personality. It's capable of certain things. It's able to do certain things reliably. It's able to not do certain things reliably. And I think we are a good judge of what our models can do reliably and what they cannot do reliably.
President Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth both posted on social media Friday, calling for all government agencies to stop using Anthropic's AI. Just hours before U.S. strikes on Iran.
I think it was made very clear in some of their statements, in some of their language, that this was retaliatory and punitive.
If you had a moment with the president right now, what would you say to him?
We are patriotic Americans. We have done everything we have done has been for the sake of this country, for the sake of supporting U.S. national security. We believe in defeating our autocratic adversaries. We believe in defending America. The red lines we have drawn, we drew because we believe that crossing those red lines is contrary to American values. Disagreeing with the government is the most American thing in the world. And we are patriots. In everything we have done here, we have stood up for the values of this country.
Jolene Kent, CBS News, San Francisco.
Let's look at our other headlines today. Your head might not be listening to your stomach. A British study analyzed brain scans of trial participants who received sweet treats, as many as they wanted. Even once they were full, brain activity continued to respond strongly to the food. Researchers say even people with excellent self-control might be undermined by these automatic neural responses.
A new study suggests the more someone plays football, the worse their cognitive performance may be after 40. Boston University researchers looked at nearly 4,000 former players from all levels. From youth to professional, they found associations between repetitive head impacts and cognitive, mood, and behavioral impairments, with some conditions like depression more likely to be reported in elite players.
More evidence that later school start times offer big benefits for teenagers. High schoolers in Sweden receive the option to start school later, allowing them to sleep in an extra 45 minutes. Students told researchers they had fewer problems falling asleep. Their quality of life improved, and they did better in math and English.
Home births in the U.S. are on the rise, but they can become dangerous, so we're connecting the dots.
More U.S. families are choosing home births instead of hospitals. Let's connect the dots. More than 50,000 women had planned home births in 2024, a nearly 71% increase from a decade prior. Parents say they want a familiar space with fewer medical interventions. But childbirth is unpredictable. Complications can happen without warning, like heavy bleeding, baby distress, stalled labor, or high blood pressure. Research shows babies born at home have a higher risk of death compared to hospital births. Doctors say home births may be safer for certain low-risk pregnancies with a solid plan and quick hospital access. But when emergencies happen, hospitals have the tools and team ready immediately, and that can save lives. That's connecting the dots.
Well, a gray afternoon across the Triad thanks to a little bit of a wedge going on, some clouds and cooler temperatures. Not so much, though. I mean, temperatures out there right now in the mid-40s across many locations, and so not too bad of a day. Rain has held off for a good portion of the afternoon. It might start to fill in, it looks like, more towards the evening now. So kind of after sunset, we'll start to see some of those scattered showers come through. Temperatures falling more towards the upper 30s along the state line there. Further into the Triad, we're in the lower 40s, some upper 30s in there as well. And that'll continue as we go overnight and into our early Tuesday with some very, very light precip. We're talking not a whole lot of impacts here, and we're not even talking wintry impacts anymore. Really just the cold rain, temperatures on the cooler side into the morning tomorrow. And then as we go through the afternoon, maybe even breaking out into some sunshine and the lower 60s. So yes, warmer temperatures will be on the way as we go past our Tuesday and into Wednesday. We're talking temperatures starting off in the upper 40s, and then how about that, mid 70s as we go into your Wednesday. And this is just the start of a string of very, very warm weather that will continue as we really go through the rest of the week. Look at that, though. By Thursday morning, we're talking lows in the mid 50s. So yes, we are definitely warming up. And why? Well, the upstairs of the atmosphere is warming up. We're going to watch a ridge of high pressure really build in and kind of anchor itself across the region as we go through the late week period. So that means we will see less rain chances and more chances for some of those warmer temperatures. So notice here the foothills seeing maybe a little bit of some rain as we go into Thursday, but really for the rest of the Triad, we're staying dry. And watch as this front tries to make its progress into the region and just can't. It's because of that area of high pressure aloft, pretty strong at the moment, at least being forecasted that way. And so we're not going to be allowed to have any of those rain chances come through because of that strong area of high pressure. It will be also very mild. You can see the temperature outlook there, 6 to 10 days above average, and then expected to remain above average as we go in through the 10th to the 16th as well. So it is going to be a nice mild stretch, and that'll last for quite some time as we go through Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Some of those highs in the 70s could be closer to the upper 70s Thursday, Friday, and maybe even into the weekend, with rain chances now looking like they're dwindling as we head through the weekend into early next week.
A big thank you to everyone who came out to support rescue pets in the Triad. Juliet's House Whiskers Roundup was this weekend at Pig Pounder Brewery. WFMY News 2's Ed Matthews and Ben Briscoe hosted the event. for the all-volunteer organization specializing in helping injured animals, saving about 800 last year and more than 8,500 over the last decade.
Our support continues to grow and rally around us, and it's not about us, it's about the animals. People care, and with each animal we help in the community, that person recognizes, and it just grows. And so we're just really thankful that we're able to, help those animals that really, again, fall through the cracks, that there's not a resource there to take them.
Yeah, Lauren Coleman rescued her Colby from Juliet's house. Such a great organization and in line with our To the Rescue mission. Ben also met a 10-year-old who was at the event who was doing some entrepreneurial work trying to raise money.
This homemade slime, not just fun, it's funding something bigger in our community.
Look at all the people out here at Pig Pounder to help support Juliet's house and injured animals across the Triad. It really warms your heart to see so many people show up for the animals, including the person who made this. 10-year-old Savannah over here is really an inspiration. She's been making slime all year long to sell at this fundraiser for the animals.
I just love animals, and I want them to get donations because it's all going to Juliet's house. So these animals can get what they need to get adopted.
If you missed the fundraiser at Pig Pounder, you can help Juliet's House mission on their website, plus see all the animals up for adoption and how you can volunteer.
All right, coming up, an 8-year-old strives to gather hundreds of cereal boxes to help kids just like him. How he's doing it and how you can help next. An 8-year-old boy is on a mission to make sure kids his age are fed. He is collecting hundreds of cereal boxes to give to families in his neighborhood. Megan Schiller reports.
His hockey stick in hand, taking shots on his basement net. 8-year-old Xander O'Brien says you can't score goals without a good breakfast.
Like Lucky Charms.
What do you like about Lucky Charms?
The marshmallows.
The boxes keep on coming. Fruity Pebbles, Rice Crisps, Apple Jacks. How many do you think you got?
I think we need 300, but we have 196.
Last year, Xander collected a pretty good amount.
125.
But this year, it's a full-court cereal press.
We go to the store and buy some of them like at a time. And we wanted to get more as last time.
Xander's mom, Sarah O'Brien, realizes she's sneaking in a life lesson here.
You want your children to learn when they're younger that not everyone has what they have.
Enter the Bag Brigade. She discovered it a few years back and started packing bags on Tuesday nights for food insecure kids in the Belle Vernon School District. Then Xander and his little brother started tagging along too.
You know, when he feels okay in an environment, he thrives. And he loves to go there because he loves to pack bags because number one, you get to walk in a circle, so it's like you're trick-or-treating.
Kathy Kelly welcomes volunteers of all ages. She co-founded the Bag Brigade 10 years ago out of the Gospel Alliance Church, and every year the need keeps growing.
When COVID hit, right after that, we really realized that we need to really be doing this year-round.
Now volunteers like the O'Briens pack bags for 242 little ones.
We started in one school, an elementary school with about 19, 20 bags, and that quickly grew to all 4 schools, including the high school. And during COVID, we packed almost in that first week, 900 bags.
A school year food program that grew to a lifeline for these kids.
Anything that is self-sustainable, right? And something that the kids probably can fix themselves. We have kids in kindergarten who are living with grandma who really can't get up or is not mobile. How do we get that child to eat food?
And they're always in need of donations.
Mac and cheese cups, right? Peanut butter, soup, the ramen noodles, that's a great thing for them. Slim Jims, pudding cups, applesauce. You know, you think of anything that's just a single serving that a kid can just open the lid and eat it, that's what we're giving them.
And these big cereal boxes won't just keep kids fed during the summer weeks.
We only give single serving during the week, okay? But these big boxes, there's a reason for that. We do a domino drop.
That's right, a massive feat of physics that fills the school hallways with cheers.
And like I said, the videos don't do it justice because last year he got to tip the first box up at Ross Traver Elementary, and that's like a big to-do miss, super celebrity.
It's a life highlight for Xander.
Last time we did a dominoes that we pushed cereal all the way down. I was the one that I did.
You got to push the first one?
Yeah.
What was that like? Awesome.
Yeah.
So the more boxes, the better the domino drop. Xander's hoping to crush his goal of 300 boxes.
He's starting to, in his mind, for an 8-year-old, grasp like what he can do. Like, oh, if I can do this, well, there's really nothing else that I can't do.
Oh, congrats to him. This is such a great idea. One of our schools here in our area, Clemens Elementary, last year, they did a similar initiative where they did the domino effect, and they were able to gather more than 11,000 boxes. And they recorded it on TikTok, and they got more than 44 million views. So it inspired some of the other schools in our area to do something similar. But I know they said they were hoping to beat the world record this year, so we'll have to check back in. They did it in February of last year, so maybe it's going to come up soon.
Okay, I remember that story. So cool, such a great cause. Any way you can support children, you don't want to think of anybody ever going hungry.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What's your favorite cereal? He said Lucky Charms, so.
I don't eat cereal as much now, but as a kid, Trix and Fruity Pebbles were definitely my favorites, full of sugar.
Yep.
I liked Raisin Nut Bran. Even as a kid. I know.
That's a great choice.
Not the regular Raisin Bran, the Raisin Nut Bran.
Okay, the Raisin Bran Crunch was pretty good. So.
Yeah, well, if we're gonna have some nice temperatures over the next couple of days, so you know you want to eat your Wheaties, so to speak, right? So you can
Take it outside.
So you can get outside and enjoy a day with full energy there. Mid to upper 70s. As we go from our Wednesday into our Thursday into our Friday. I think the rain chances for the weekend will be dwindling. And then the bad news, we lose an hour of sleep as we go in from our Saturday night into Sunday morning. So daylight saving time begins. We lose that hour, gain it on the other side. Either way, we just have to deal with it.
Yeah, always a couple weeks for the kids, especially to adjust, but we'll get through it.
Yeah, they'll get through it and get to play outside a little later on the weekend.
Yeah.
It's nice when spring rolls around. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you back here streaming all the time on WFMY+.